Welcome to Phoenix for the final game for the Arizona Sidewinders in the Western Ultimate League for the 2024 season. I'm Michael Simeone. I'm joined here with Laura Tan. She goes by LT. LT, a beautiful evening, although a little hot as these teams take the field. We've got the Bay Area Falcons facing down the home Arizona Sidewinders. Bay Area with a terrific game last week. How are they feeling today?
You gotta say, Bay Area is feeling good after a dominant win over Arizona last week. They closed out that game 18-7. They did close out the game strong, and by doing so, they clinched the second spot for the playoffs. So Bay Area is really coming into this game feeling like they've faced their conference opponents, and they're getting ahead of steam coming into the playoffs.
Windy today, just as it was in the game last week between the Sidewinders and the Bay Area Falcons. A little bit of a difference with the heat, though. We're nearing 100 degrees, and today we might see some extended breaks between quarters or some breaks peppered into the quarters because the wet bulb temperature is currently approaching the regulation threshold for some extra time for breaks with these two teams. Nearly 100 degrees today, and the sun's still shining. LT, if we're thinking about the Bay Area's strategy overall this season, it seems like it's featured some pretty fast starts. What do you make of that for them coming into a game today where it's going to be pretty hot and the temperature may cool down, but it seems like temperatures are still going to be hotter than they're used to for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think something that Arizona players learned pretty early is that is building up that reservoir of energy, knowing that you're going to be drained in those first minutes of playing in heat. So I think Bay Area is going to have to maybe manage their lines a little bit harder, make sure that folks are taking more water, taking more breaks. And of course, the structure of the game with a little bit more built-in breaks will help with some of that as well to make sure everyone's staying healthy.
Take a look at the Bay Area roster while the Sidewinders take the field. LT, speaking of the home Sidewinders, how are these Sidewinders feeling as they take on the Bay Area Falcons, given what happened last week?
I'm hoping that after last week, you can't feel great, right? Like, that it was a tough game, but you do hope that this last game, it doesn't have any playoff implications, but you hope that it's a celebration of their season, right? The work that goes into a love of labor like playing professional Ultimate is not small, and so hopefully they can close out this last game with a feeling of, here's what we did together, and we still feel good about the time that we put in.
It also seems that, there is no draft in the WUL. There is no benefit to losing at the end of the season. This is not like a lot of other professional leagues where losing at the end of the season you might actually be happy about. This might actually help define the offseason for the Sidewinders if they get a positive result. That's got to be some energy that they want to take into it, too. I can't help but think of that.
Definitely. Like, you want players feeling good, and, some of them are moving into club season, and opportunities to play, despite the difference in pro and club, is still, time to hone your skills, time to enjoy time with your teammates, and time to celebrate the fact that you can play frisbee.
Certainly. The Sidewinders have just played so hard in so many of their games. Their point differential up until last week had been so marginal. It was such a shocking, lopsided loss for them last week. Looking at this showdown now, it will be fascinating to see what kind of game this turns out to be.
Definitely. Well, Arizona has played almost every game this season in the wind, and so this will not be a stranger to them playing for that and, letting their handler sets really churn.
As we take a look at the game day roster for the Sidewinders, a couple notable exceptions and a couple notable returns. We've got the return of Cody Lippincott for the second straight game now, coming off injury. The return of Paige Applegate. And then a couple notable absences tonight, including, I believe, number 12, Megan Maxfield, who's listed on this roster, is not here tonight. And they will also be without Kez Gazelle, a contributing starter on the offensive line for Arizona Sidewinders. And we'll get a little bit more into what that could mean for them today. But Arizona, with its starting backcourt with Chip Chang and LP Aragon and Paige Applegate, they will be together again. LT, what kind of difference do you think that's going to make today?
That's a huge stabilizing force. Applegate really just giving a release. She can carve up the field with different shapes of throws. Her height and her throwing experience really just a great boon for the Arizona offense. And so I think having that backfield is going to bring a lot of stability to the team.
On camera now, facilitating the coin toss is drag queen champion for Phoenix, Gabagool.
Gabagool.
A windy day like this one might be nice to start on defense.
Could be a good thing. For the fans at home, Michael, which way is the wind blowing?
Well, I think if I look at Susie Sidewinder, it looks like the wind is blowing left to right and slightly away. Sidewinders to receive, and it looks like they will be starting in the right end zone if the hand gestures are accurate. We'll be looking forward to that. Now, LT, we talked a little bit about what Arizona will be looking to accomplish here by trying to calm things down a little bit through their handlers. Bay Area, on the other hand, what are they going to be looking to do in this game?
So Bay Area had a really nice game last week with a very balanced attack. You look across the stat sheet from last week, and 13 of their 22 rostered players last week had assists. That's very even distribution. You got to love that everybody was involved in the attack. I think that bodes well for the Bay Area.
Yeah, Bay Area very good at using that inside-out break to advance things down the field and really reduce the trust that Arizona defense had in the mark and in one another. It's so difficult to play downfield defense when the mark's getting broken pretty frequently. You know, if we can flip things back to the Sidewinders for a minute and talk about some of their approach, we mentioned about trying to calm things down with the handlers. Arizona is without Kez Gazelle and Megan Maxfield. Those are two players who are really so effective in resetting the clock, in getting good chunks of yardage down, underneath and, threatening deep as well. They're just so versatile, and they have such high usage. How do you think Arizona responds without them today?
That's a great question. It's hard to produce what those players have brought to the team all season. I think it's nice that we get Nora Landry back this game. She was a notable absence from last week's game. And I think that just the biggest thing out of Arizona last week was really just a lot of cleanup of unforced errors. There's not really any way around that. And I think that this game, being not about the playoffs is an opportunity for folks to play a little bit looser. And maybe some of those unforced errors will also disappear with that as well.
Yeah, and Arizona just so kind of deliberate with its lines. If you look at a team like San Diego and the Super Bloom, where a lot of players might be playing both sides of the disc pretty frequently, or the Colorado Alpenglow, where notable players will be, and some of their top-level players will be playing both sides of the disc, both offense and defense. Arizona's pretty deliberate about their lines with very, very defined O-lines and D-lines. They're kind of built for an endurance match in a lot of ways. But what we've seen is, a slide from this team in just about every game where they've taken the field, where they've looked strong in places, but every game is marked by a 3 or 4 break or 3 or 4 points sequence at least, where you see them giving the disc up an awful lot and getting scored on. Anything that we might want to be looking for at home or up here to help us see if Arizona can kind of calm things a little bit and be a little bit more steady for 4 whole quarters instead of kind of lightning in a bottle for a couple and then holding on for the rest.
Yeah, I'm not a magician who can jump to the fourth quarter, but I think that you could see that Arizona was tense early in the game against Bay Area last week, and that continued throughout the game. And so we're hoping to see, look at the body language. Where are their shoulders? Are they talking to each other? Are they making eye contact? Is there a lot of, sideline engagement? Those are small indicators that the team, is feeling good. But again, I also think that some of the timing and the spacing of the cuts last week, I think led to more turnovers, right? Like you only have a 7-second stall count in this league. And so, a thrower turns around, they have to wait a couple seconds for the stack to get going. That really slows down the offense and allows the defense to be in spaces where the offense does not want them to be.
Can Arizona generate some easy catches for themselves to relieve some of that physical defensive pressure that the Bay Area brought last week? And looking at Bay Area, one thing we were talking about is just how fast of a start they have with every game. They've been up in the first quarter with every game that they've played, unless I'm terribly wrong on something that I've missed. But they start so fast either way. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams collide as we start off with Bay Area on defense. The disc is presented. We're about to start. This is a poll offered by Margot Donahue of the Bay Area Falcons, the final game of the season for the Arizona Sidewinders here at home. Paige Applegate to LP Aragon. Aragon back to Applegate. We can see that physical defense kick in already. This is Landry. Landry out to Chang. Chang down the sideline to Carly Garrett. Garrett scanning. She's got Chang on the sideline again. She sees Bradley going deep. This is Kelsey Bradley, number 31. She's spied it in the end zone. She's got a goal. It's a hold for the Sidewinders.
Nice sequence by the Sidewinders there. They moved from the middle of the field to the near sideline and pushed the disc all the way down. But Bradley kept a nice shape, giving a little bit more space to Chip Chang to put that disc in the air and leave a little bit of space on the sideline for her to run on that.
Yeah, I could see a ton of pressure trying to push those handlers to the sideline by the Bay Area. The response by the Sidewinders is to send someone streaking deep, take advantage of that height mismatch there. Doesn't matter if it hangs in the wind. Great throw by Chang. Solid read and cut by Kelsey Bradley as the stadium wishes her happy birthday on her birthday weekend. Sidewinders come out on defense. This is Carly Steiner, number 4 for the Sidewinders. She'll be offering the disc. And we'll see if Bay Area can return the favor. Both teams started with holds in the last matchup, although Bay Area scored in a matter of seconds last week. We'll see if Arizona can generate any defensive pressure at all. Remember, Bay Area is such a hot team to start. Can Arizona cool them down? This is Chen, number 25, to Sarah Carnahan, one of the Bay Area captains. This is Hammer. Hammer scanning. She's going to send it to... That's Imanishi. Imanishi is going to send it to Chen. Forgive me, that's the hockey assist attempt by Imanishi. Throw by Jacqueline Wynn, number 42. Here's Maggie O'Connor for the Arizona Sidewinders. Talking about easy catches, that's Madison Spiegel streaking to the sideline. She's got a nice upline touch to O'Connor. This is her favorite place to be, operating in small spaces. That's Martinez to Juan. O'Connor streaking up the sideline, but that's Kate Powell, and that's going to be a block. Number 42, Jacqueline Wynn on Kate Powell. That disc is going to go up right away. It's hanging. Imanishi, can she get it? Not quite. Terrific bid by Imanishi there. Deep pass provided by 25, Chen. Chen so important to this Bay Area team. Kay Powell. That's Lippincott, who's looking fleet off her calf injury. O'Connor's going to send it up. This is Martinez. She's got a lead. It's swinging in the air. Martinez has 2 hands on it. Martinez able to get behind Anderson. Juan to the rescue to O'Connor. Here's Juan. That's actually Kay Powell. Kay Powell streaking up line. Steiner's going to turn it over on the swing to O'Connor. Unforced turnover by Bay Area. Recovered by Steiner. Here's O'Connor again, operating in the middle. Looking for an opportunity downfield. Janet Juan. O'Connor. O'Connor to Powell. Powell looking at Lippincott. It's going to be hand blocked. Jacqueline Wynn with another block. Timeout called. Bay Area needs a minute to think about this one. LT, what do you see on their first offensive point of the night?
I'm actually going to talk about Arizona real quick. I am seeing Arizona use one sideline. They're really working in very narrow spaces that cause that first turnover. And so I would like to see them spread the field a little bit more so that the defense can't anticipate as much. Bay Area was moving the disc well, using short spaces and deep space as well. we'll just see them reset and have a game plan for the next few yards.
Terrific marking by Bay Area so far.
Absolutely.
Looking for those inside-out windows has not worked for Arizona so far. They're going to have to move the mark a little bit more if they're going to want to find that window. That's a couple turnovers off the mark just right away. You know, you couldn't tell if Steiner's throw was bothered by direct contact from the defender, but it's certainly some pressure. So, you know, we talked earlier before the game about who's going to win the mark tonight because marking was so crucial in the last game. Bay Area clearly coming out on top. Seeing how Arizona responds here. These marks are physical. They're mobile. Arizona back on defense. Bay Area to pick up. Can Bay Area get a hold out of this offensive sequence out of the timeout? This has suddenly become a very consequential first possession for the Bay Area Falcons. Bay Area checking in. This is Sarah Carnahan. Carnahan sending it wide, but pressure by Thomas bothers the angle there. Margot Erheim not quite able to sync up with her handler Carnahan. This is O'Connor now. Powell providing that across field outlook again. This is Eifert. Eifert's just going to send it to Martinez. Now back to O'Connor. This is very dangerous. It's going to go deep to Dunn, and Dunn's got it. She hits the deck with both hands. Terrific catch by Dunn. Back to O'Connor. Very careful now for the Sidewinders. Sending it back to Dunn. Trying to use a little bit more of the field. And that's going to be a break shot and a drop by Kay Powell. Sidewinders trying to threaten that break side. They're going to be back on defense. Here's O'Connor on the mark on Chen. This is Erheim. Squaring off against Thomas. Finding the break space against Carly Steiner. Back to Chen. Pick called on the field. Players will reset their spacing before the pick, before the disc comes back in. Back to that catch and dish game that the Bay Area offense loves so much. Let's see if Arizona can figure out a way to slow it down. Chen's just going to send it into the end zone. That's Allison Suji. It's picked off. Terrific block and cover by Mel Dunn. Number 11 for Arizona Sidewinders. I hesitate to say this is going downwind because it's swirling a little bit. But something of a downwind possession now, going the length of the field. Maggie O'Connor sending it to a break space with Cynthia Thomas. O'Connor says there was contact on the throw. No contest by Chen. O'Connor's going to get another look.
I think Zulk popped out into the lane and got in the mix there.
Here's Dunn, who's already put her stamp on this point. That's O'Connor to Steiner, to Thomas. Eifert crushing the deep space, but coming back under. Now she's got possession. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor's going to send it high up in the air to Dunn. She's trying to box out Carnahan. Carnahan's got it with a terrific stop. Back to Chen. Bay Area working downfield pretty quickly. They've made short work of about 20 yards. It's going to go up high. Here's Martinez on the cover. This is Suji against Martinez. Suji's got it. That's going to be a goal for Bay Area Falcons. Very eventful point, LT.
Very. That's a great catch by Suji with some arm traffic in her face. Bay Area, instead of working up, just said, let's just send it. I think I like their use of the deep space there and get in the hold.
Yeah, Arizona's going to have to try to find a way to keep number 25, Han Chen, from catching it on the run and then sending it. You know, getting close to her or interfering with her space a little bit. Seems like teams that have been able to slow her down a little bit have been successful in keeping her from getting that second catch after sending it to the person downfield. Let's take another look at the celebration. Arizona back on offense. Bay Area so good at playing defense from their O-line. Let's see if their D-line can generate some pressure. So far, similar script to last time. Both teams holding out the gate with a 1-1 score. What will Arizona do to this new pressure? It looks like a zone. Arizona looking to get around it. Here's Applegate working against the zone. That's Pisani, who's got Garrett. That's Aragon. Aragon to Applegate. Field is opening up for the Sidewinders momentarily. Can they capitalize? That's Aragon. Pass goes high to Landry. Landry quite got get it. Landry's got it on the second try. Arizona maintaining possession here, fighting hard in this zone and in the wind. That's Chip Chang. Wide offer by Bradley. Chang playing it safe. Applegate now looking for space. Arizona now with the turnover. Switching to person for the Bay Area.
Arizona did a nice job of opening up the field once they got past the cup a little bit and broke back towards the near sideline. That really opened up opportunities, just not quite the ending that they wanted on that point, on that possession.
Terrific catch by Bay Area. Margot Donahue. Bay Area's off and running. Clap catch. Saved from doom by McKinley McQuaid. And now Pinwen Wang sending it back to the middle. That's Meaty Chang. Eliza Chang. Back out wide for the Bay Area. It's going to hit the deck. LP Aragon on offense. Arizona, they know what's at stake now, having to move it up the field this far. Multiple yards against that zone. Oh, no, they're out of the zone. It's going to be back to person. We'll see how Arizona responds now to this changeup. So far, Aragon looking comfortable back there in the backfield. She's going to send it to Garrett. Garrett's off and away. Garrett not quite able to get it. Terrific rundown defense by Margot Donahue.
Yeah, she had a big game last week, too. She's a major factor on this Bay Area team.
This is Meaty Chang, number 21 for Bay Area. Guarded by Chip Chang, the Arizona Sidewinders. Right into the middle. Another quick combination to the sideline. Setting up for a huck we knew was coming. Here's Landry on the cover. Disc is drifting. It can't quite get it. That was Eliza Chang trying to grab it right as it skipped out of bounds. Paige Applegate with the pickup here.
That was a boon for Arizona. She had steps on Landry, and if that hadn't drifted out, she would have had a pretty clean catch.
Aragon in the middle. Arizona not quite swinging it as quickly, I think, as people watching might prefer, but I think it also speaks to some of the windy conditions as Pisani snatches it out of the air. Applegate to Chang. There's Applegate. She's going to send it to Landry. Landry's got a chance. The defense is pretty tight. Great cover by McKinley McQuaid. We can see the flags on the field and on the goalposts. They are going every which way right now. And we talked about the wind going left to right at the beginning, but it's certainly blowing from the near sideline to the away sideline as you're looking at the screen right now. The disc is certainly wavering between the two sidelines when it goes up in the air. Here's Bay Area testing some deep space. That's Chang against Aragon. Sails wide.
Yeah, even if it's not a pure downwind, it's definitely flying faster left to right. That one by the Sidewinders got hung up in the air.
We see LP Aragon call that timeout. Arizona gonna want a minute to think about yet another trip down the field in this wind. And let's spare a thought for these players as we remind everyone that conditions are still close to 100 degrees out here on this turf. And every point that lasts longer than 60 seconds is positively exhausting. Both teams playing very good defense on these deep shots, LT.
Agreed. You can see that that there's coverage, and I think with you got great throwers. You want to use your weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I think with any of these, the disc is going to have to drop right in on the far shoulder of the person streaking deep. And in this wind, it seems like that's a lot to ask for right now.
Yeah, it remains to be seen whether folks will be able to dial it in or if it is going to ask for a different strategy if that's not possible.
Well, what is not remaining to be seen is how much of an amazing mascot Susie Sidewinder is featured right there on the screen. Here's LP. Aragon to start the Sidewinders off. She's checked by Eliza Chang, who from the booth looks like she had a great look downfield. That disc is just going to go straight into the hands of Amanda Maru. Some sort of miscommunications by the Sidewinders, and it's going to be a benefit for the Bay Area Falcons. Imanishi, she's going to send it wide. It's going to be a goal. On the break side to Elsa Winslow. First break for the Bay Area Falcons.
Well, and we talked about energy management, right? So we've had a couple of points with multiple turnovers, and so that's going to wear on the bodies, on the minds, as the game continues on.
Well, certainly something happened on that timeout play where we went from watching one team take a timeout to have a more considered look downfield to taking some sort of miscommunication where you get the sense that Aragon was looking for somebody in the middle and there was a miscue on who was supposed to actually be in that spot. Let's take another look at the goal. Imanishi. Any magic there, LT, or just pretty fundamental red zone?
Pretty standard catch and throws, and just executing to nail that point down.
Yeah. Winslow just getting a couple steps behind, getting a little leverage, and Imanishi with a great throw. Every throw is not a great throw, but in this wind, if you can send a laser like that and put it on a dot, a break well earned for the Bay Area Falcons. Here's Kay Powell. She's got LP Aragon. That's going to be blocked. Intended for Maggie O'Connor. That's Allison Suji, number 11 for the Bay Area, who had the block. Didn't know if there was a call for a minute there. It looks like the Bay Area is going to stay with it. Good cover by Arizona on these handlers. Margot Donahue crafty in that space to catch the dump, but it looks like a timeout was called before that pass was completed. LT, I get the sense that the stall count was getting pretty high and the Bay Area didn't want to give up the disc.
Yes, and we'll remind viewers here we have 59 seconds left on the stadium clock, and this is not a buzzer beater situation where teams have to score before the clock winds down to 0. Whoever is in possession of the disc at the 0 time mark continues to possess the disc. If they do not score, if they turn it over, that is the end of the quarter.
A low-scoring quarter, LT.
Indeed.
1-2 in 12 minutes of action.
But not 3 points of work. Not 3 points of work. More like 6 or 7.
Bay Area Falcons looking to make it 3-1 with just 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. They've absorbed a lot of pressure from Arizona right off the bat. They would love to be up a couple breaks at the end of this quarter. That's 44 Hammer. That's Chen to Hammer. That disc is going to sail all the way across the field. Great manipulation of that space by the Bay Area. That's going to get caught. Is it? It's in. It's ruled in. Imanishi with a terrific grab. Here's Hammer rolling up the field. And Hammer's got an assist with 21 seconds to go. That's Meaty Chang. That's 3-1 Bay Area with 21 seconds to go. Some really good give-and-go work there by the Bay Area to manipulate the defense and get a nice, easy catch in the end zone.
Agreed, and I think the other thing that the Bay Area is doing well is moving across the field really well. You saw them take it from the far sideline to the near sideline, back to the far sideline within, 4 or 5 passes. Also, the disc is just moving faster on the Bay Area side. So I'm seeing handlers turning, and there's immediately a cutter ready to go. As a handler, you love to see that. Just turn and put it. It's really giving their offense a lot of flow, just a lot of juice for them to be able to get into the end zone.
Here's Arizona. Can they answer with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter? This has gone much better than the first quarter of last week. Can they finish strong? Here's Landry. Landry to Applegate. Applegate back to Aragon. And that's our buzzer. This turnover or a goal ends the quarter. It's going to sail high in the inside space, but Landry to save it. Landry back to Applegate. Inside out. That's a turnover. And that'll be your first quarter. Bay Area 3 against the home Arizona Sidewinders at 1. And it looks like Megan Maxfield has taken the field at that point for Arizona. We didn't notice. She wasn't here at the beginning of the game. She's here now. We saw her running. Can't miss that speed. Could recognize it from anywhere. LT, what do you think of this first quarter?
I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. This is fun to watch. I'm really liking the defensive pressure that I see in the Bay Area. I do think that those marks, like you were saying,
so many unsuccessful tries on that inside space as we watch the Bay Area trot into the end zone another time on the backs of really superior spacing and timing. We're going to take a break in between these quarters. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the second quarter of Bay Area Falcons against the hosting Arizona Sidewinders. The score is 3-1 Bay Area advantage. A low-scoring first quarter with a lot of turnovers, but some explosive plays and some solid defense. Arizona to begin the quarter on defense, trying to start things off with a stop. A cooler first quarter than we've seen out of the Bay Area for most of the season, LT.
Yeah, the wind definitely playing a factor. You can see discs drifting outside that far sideline. And so, again, using that first quarter to fine-tune the throws.
You can also see the pressure in the Arizona game plan on the mark. Last week we saw a lot of marks that seemed to trend around against the Bay Area, and this time it feels like Arizona has adjusted and is crowding that IO window a little bit more. We're starting to see some of those inside-out throws by Bay Area end up skipping on the turf because they're pressured and they're not coming out as clean. Some of those errors seem like we could credit those to the mark, although Bay Area still managing to play a pretty up-tempo game once they have possession and they get rolling. We'll see if Arizona has any answers for that. Slight delay between quarters as it seems like the lights have just fired up.
Susie getting comfy over here. Snakes do like the heat.
I don't know if it can be comfortable to lay it down on that surface on a day like this at all. We salute our mascot for her work. Meanwhile, Sidewinders are using this time to talk a little bit about this defensive scheme and get fired up.
Yeah, it was interesting that Bay Area decided to crumble from the zone.
Do you think they felt the zone wasn't effective?
Arizona was able to pierce that and move the disc well, but it could also be one of those things that, you do that to throw a different look, and they come back to person. Certainly their person has been successful, like you said, able to create trouble on the mark and get between the thrower and the receiver. So, don't fix what's not broke maybe for them, and we'll see what happens in the second quarter.
I could be mistaken, but it really seemed like this.
Mistaken?
I could be mistaken, but that zone from the Bay Area looked like it might have had a mark that was trying to stop the dump more than anything else, and not crowding the shown throw as much as their person defense shows. And I feel like Arizona was a little bit more relaxed in that environment. When they went to person again, it feels like that Bay Area mark returned, and some of those errors returned for the Sidewinders as a result.
That's a great observation, Michael.
Well, we have all this space up here to watch, so if we don't have anything interesting to say, then we should just fold up and go home. The lights are up and going. Both teams have taken the field. Both teams probably welcoming a little bit of extra time between quarters given the conditions. We've got the windows open here in the booth, and it's like opening a pizza oven and feeling the air come onto your face. And these athletes are having to perform at a high level.
Well, and I'm not getting any pepperoni wafting in either, so it's not as much fun.
Sidewinder defense looking to slow things down for the Bay Area. Right about now, we would be expecting a burst from the Bay Area, like a 3 or 4 break run, if things are going to look like they did last week, or, what Bay Area has been able to do against other top teams in the league. Let's see how Bay Area responds. They're on a roll now, 3-1, starting the game 1-0. That's Suji Imanishi now. Dump set. Chang has it. Disc wide. Out of bounds. Sidewinder's disc. Looking at a slightly shorter field. Feel like we've only been watching 70-yard marches. O'Connor grateful to pick it up on the 40, no doubt. Handling back there with 51K Powell in a vertical stack for the Sidewinders. Caroline O'Connell setting the front of the stack. O'Connor scanning the field. Clock getting high. Here's O'Connell.
Just not seeing a lot of active cuts come out. Here we go.
Sidewinders treading water right now, although no major pressure. Here's O'Connor on the run. She's got Madison Spiegel, number 82. Spiegel with the dump to O'Connor. O'Connor finding that break shot to Powell, to Juan. Juan's got Lippincott in the end zone. Does Lippincott? Lippincott got it with both hands. That's a break for your Arizona Sidewinders. 3-2, 10:35 to go in the second.
Welcome back, Cody Lippincott. We have missed you. It's good to see her out there, Arizona homegrown player.
There's a raucous crowd today here in West Phoenix. And when that disc went up to Lippincott, you could feel everyone at the edge of their seats. They know what she's capable of. From our angle, it didn't look like, it looked like the disc was really far away from Lippincott. Let's take a look at it now, LT.
Yep, centering to the middle of the field. And it did look like it floated a little farther out. I was finding myself wondering, like, am I going to get to see one of those great layouts? But no need.
It looked like it was time for a heroic bid, but Lippincott can catch that all day. Terrific speed to get there.
No need.
Sidewinders on defense. This is Carly Steiner, whose pulls this season have been excellent. Let's see if she's able to turn that into an advantage here and try to tie things up and flip the script on the visiting Bay Area Falcons. Here's Steiner. Great pull with some good hang time. It's going to come down well past the 30. This is Chen. Checked by Spiegel. Done on the mark. Bay Area, Carnahan operating. This is Hammer. Hammer who just dragged her foot tremendously. That's Chen to Khalees Cardenas. Great cut underneath. That's Amanda Maru, and it's going to be sent to Eifert, who's going to reject it.
No on the IO that time.
This is good pressure by the Bay Area here in the end zone. They don't want to go the full field if they can help it. This is going to come up. It's going to be miraculously caught. That was Spiegel and then done. And now there's somehow an eye of a needle shot to O'Connor, who's going to send it to wide open space to Eifert. Too far for Eifert. Any D-line's going to be happy to make a long field for the offense. LT, what went wrong on that sequence for the Sidewinders?
I think that, the throw didn't come out with the kind of shape or the kind of float that you want for your runner to get under it, for your receiver to get under it. Really, they got lucky in a couple of catches there, being able to be heads up and pulling the disc. Oh, here we go.
Here's Dunn with the block, making it a short field. Sidewinders making use of this here. O'Connor in the middle of the field. She's looking break side. She's back to the open. O'Connor's just going to send it up. It looks like it's far out of bounds. Dunn is an athlete, but not that athletic.
She could if she would.
Looks like there's a call on the field on the throw. Is there? No call. We assume there was a call because there's some conversation among the players, and there was a foul called. They have just now reversed it to make us look as intelligent as possible. It is now no call. This is Han Chen bringing it in against Madison Spiegel, number 82 for the Sidewinders. This is Hammer. Hammer's going to send it deep. That's 99, Patricia Anderson. She's managed to grab it. Sidewinders playing catch up as the Falcons play catch. Chen with a venturesome throw. This is Steiner trying to knock it down. Steiner's got her hand on it with a running block.
That's a great D. She was waiting to eat that one up. She was sprinting across the end zone to come get it. Fantastic D on her part. You can see her anticipating and then just coming in.
Really met it at the high point.
Yeah.
Great work by Steiner. It's going to be an upline shot to Dunn, who's all over this point. Dunn having a great game so far. This is Kay Powell to Carly Steiner to the turf. Bay Area now with a short field. A grueling point. Sarah Carnahan's going to send it in the air to a wide open Margot Erheim. Bay Area walks away with a hold. 2-4, 7-18. Bay Area advantage.
Erheim big on that point. She had the deep reception early and then wide open again on this point to bring home the 4th point for Bay Area.
Yeah, and Bay Area just able to gather enough left to right motion on the field to be able to generate that shot where the downfield defender was completely out of position. Nice reception. Nice use of space there by the Bay Area Falcons.
You know, and for Arizona, we've seen them play so well in the past that, some of these things could be throw selection, right? Sometimes it's throw selection, sometimes it's throw execution. And you'd like to say, without just this tiny little thing, that it would all go well. We know that they have the tools. It's really just a matter of, using the right tool at the right time sometimes.
And we're off for just our 7th point of the game. Arizona Sidewinders down 2 points in the second quarter to the Bay Area Falcons as they return to what looks like a zone defense. That's going to force a really interesting throw that is somehow caught by Kelsey Bradley. Bradley to Aragon. Aragon's going to send it to Megan Maxfield. Megan Maxfield's going to grab it. The Sidewinders have a goal. It looked like all hope was lost and we were headed for a turnover. And somehow the Sidewinders pulled that out. Bradley to Aragon and then to Maxfield. Welcome back to Arizona, Megan Maxfield. Take another look, LT.
Bradley with the sticky hands there, even in a crowd. And then you just see LP in her element 1-2 step. And a nice disc out to space for Megan Maxfield to pull in.
For a moment, it looked like a rugby scrum. I feel like at least 3 people got their hands on the plastic before it got ripped away. And another quick hold for the Arizona Sidewinders. They take the field on defense. Sidewinders 3, Bay Area Falcons 4, 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the second quarter.
That's such a great sequence. You can see that they're more at ease in that space. And I want to see that replicated a little bit more on O points. It feels like they're just a little bit more tense, looking for options. But in fast break, they just they have a little bit more flow.
Sidewinders feeling great on that force side. Not able to manipulate the field from force to break like the Bay Area so far. That's been the difference. That's Imanishi who's underneath. She's checked by Juan. That's Suji. Checked by Martinez. That disc is going to go wide. We talked about marking, pressure on that throw there. It was a tough one. That's Leah Jamison, number 3, dumping off to O'Connor, who finds O'Connell. And there's a timeout buzzer. Arizona Sidewinders want to take a look at this field.
I like that timeout call.
Defense comes up with a big stop. Want to be very careful about the next 60 seconds.
Yes, and you could see that they were trying to run with the juice from the D to really move the disc around, and I think that's a great call by the coaching staff to take a second to settle in. Although you do have to say that some of the fast breaks that we've seen have been the ones where Arizona has looked a little bit more comfortable. So again, what is this line going to put together? We hope that they are feeling confident.
Yeah, so far, no change of personnel. I could be wrong. I didn't see a massive substitution. I'm wrong. That looks like Carly Garrett is on the field now with Cody Lippincott and others. It looks like they have peppered in some different personnel on this line, LT. As you mentioned, it looked like the defensive side for the Sidewinders, after generating that turnover, lost a little bit of offensive momentum. I wonder if the coaches on the Sidewinders thought they don't want to wait another stall count before making the decision. But this is still a long field to come out of a timeout for. In this situation, Applegate appears to be perfectly relaxed. Let's see what the Sidewinders can make out of this timeout. They had a hard time cashing in on the timeout from the first quarter. We'll see if this one's any different. An offer from Aragon. Great defense by the Falcons. Maxfield able to come in and grab it. Good cover again on that inside-out space by the Falcons and their mark. But that's done to Aragon as things start to open up for the Sidewinders. Aragon to Dunn again. And now they're past half field. Dunn sees Garrett. Garrett is wide open. And this is Applegate on the run. As the Sidewinders make it downfield, this is Maxfield knocking on the door of the red zone. Arizona Sidewinders slip it over the sideline to Applegate. Things looking awful crowded, LT. Somehow finding space over the head of the defender. There's Aragon. Aragon's going to send a blade into the hand of the defender. It's a block. 5:22 to go. Costly turnover for the Sidewinders. We're going to see if they can get it back. This is Applegate on the mark for Arizona. That disc is going way up. We don't know if there was foot contact or not. It's going to get knocked to the ground. That's a block for the Sidewinders. Paige Applegate. Looks like She was credited with the foot block on that throw. Applegate's got options. Aragon hits the deck. This is Chang. Smothering mark here by Bay Area. Not letting that around throw get off at last. Aragon's able to find that around space. Sending it right away. No hesitation to Dunn, who collapses it.
Dunn with a terrific point. Just a terrific point all over the field. Defensively, offensively. You got to love that energy from the little engine that could.
Dunn with a terrific point. She's just been so active on a lot of these contested points. And on that one, just managed to completely dominate that far side of the field.
Here comes the replay. We've got Applegate over here in the corner. And again, using that left to right, that breaks open the field. All defenders on the wrong side, and just a great cut to the cone for Dunn.
Bay Area facing a tie score now. Their offense is back on the field. We've got 4:37 to go in this half. Temperatures cooling slightly. It still feels like we have a heater on whenever wind blows in with us here in the booth. Sidewinders on defense. Can Bay Area respond? That's Chen to Carnahan. Carnahan to Erheim. Great use of open side space here by Bay Area as they're advancing it methodically down the field. And then that four-side to break side motion they're known for. As Suji's manages to pick that one up. But the disc is too far. Pass meant for Alexei Zulk. LT, they've got to be happy with a lot of that sequence, but it's just the finishing part that was a little tough.
Yeah, just a little bit tight of a window, and again, the disc has been drifting out on that side, so maybe just not enough to bring it back into the end zone.
So much pressure on the mark there, although Suji made a terrific grab to save things. Arizona in a tough spot. Bay Area loving to bring pressure. Caroline O'Connell on the run. She's going to send it, open up some space. This is Maggie O'Connor, normally a handler. Now she's a wide receiver. Here's Martinez streaking upfield. It's going to be a break side space. This is Helen Eifert. She's got the break. Arizona takes its first lead with 3:19 to go in the half. Crowd is on their feet right now. Explosive play. Caroline O'Connell with that upline power position shot to her backfield mate, Maggie O'Connor, who managed to put together a terrific deep look.
Yeah, that was great. And you can feel that the energy in the stadium has changed, both from the fans but also from the team. You can see them loosen up, to relax, to get a little bit more confidence. Again, you know, if you talk about mindfulness, it's not necessarily about riding the high energy. It's mostly about can you do something with that energy? Don't just like ride it until you crash. Can you harness it? Can you use it in ways that are useful to you?
Well, I've learned something about mindfulness. Let's take a look at O'Connor. Not much to say about that one. Terrific throw, made an easy catch.
Smiles all around.
Here's Steiner. This pole not as far as the last. It's going to hang, curving in some of that wind. It's going to come down just past the 40. This is Chen, number 25 for Bay Area. Checked by Madison Spiegel. Chen manages to get it around. This is Thomas on him. Minishi. Thomas can't get the block. She's trying to recover to get the mark. And Minishi's going to send it downfield. That's Cardenas. Cardenas going to offer a deep shot. This is O'Connor on the cover. Can O'Connor get it? She's got it. Terrific block by Maggie O'Connor. Amanda Maru was in a great spot. O'Connor made a beeline to the space.
Yeah, I thought that was a great spot that Cardenas picked out.
This is Cynthia Thomas. She's trying to work with O'Connor. O'Connor now working upfield. O'Connor back to Thomas. Can Arizona get the disc around? They can. That's Spiegel catching it in space. That's done. She's got an offer downfield from Eifert. She's going to switch fields. It's arcing in the air. Can Eifert get there? Eifert's got it with both hands. Sliding on the ground, and it's a goal. They're going crazy here in Arizona. The score is 6-4 with 2 minutes to go in this first half.
I love that pass from Dunn. Here you can see her on the near sideline and just putting it out to space on the other side of the defender, and she knows that Eifert can go and get it.
Really terrific defense by Khalees Cardenas there. I mean, that disc got thrown to the break side. She was just right on her shoulder. Dunn's pass was just delivered with laser targeting. There's just no other place that it could have been caught. Sidewinder D-line now taking the field.
That's a 4-point run.
We talked about the Sidewinders sliding, and they did slide for 3 points, and now they've responded with a 4-point run. Aragon taking the field on defense. We talked about the Sidewinders not really mixing things up on their lines, but here we see LP Aragon playing her first D point. Terrific pull by Aragon. We can see why she's in right now as the disc floats close to the 20. Carnahan. That's going to get sent wide. It skips. Megan Maxfield manages to get her hands on it. LP Aragon to pick up. Minute 43 to go. And Doyle snatches it out of the air with her hand. Great grab by Doyle. She's got Maxfield. Martinez with a great cut underneath. She's looked off. It hits Kay Powell, and then she sends it to Dunn with a blade. 7-4, another break. Crowd showing their appreciation. LT, let's take another look.
Yeah, the pace of the disc is just moving so much faster on these points, and you can see that Arizona just a little bit more anticipation, and Powell just puts it out to Dunn, who's wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, Maxfield finding Powell to Dunn.
Yeah. And Dunn's energy really making its presence felt here.
I mean, so fast I couldn't even keep up with the call. That's a good sign for Arizona offense.
That's a good sign.
Arizona gets to play more defense with 1:29 to go in the half. They're up 7-4. This is Carly Steiner. And we're off. This one's not going to go as far. Reasonable field position for the Bay Area. Plenty of space downfield. Let's see what they do with it. Wide to that break side. They've been so good about breaking the mark so far and going to the space. A pick is called, and we're going to slow things down. Everyone's going to catch up. That's Pinwen Wong in the dump space, working with 33, Amanda Maru. Back to Wong. That's Chang. Chang lets off Chen. That's going to Meaty Chang. Here's Madison Spiegel in pursuit. It's a turnover. For a minute there, people's backs were turned. We couldn't quite tell what happened. We know Pinwen Wong was running really hard. We know Madison Spiegel was running really hard. We saw the plastic go in. We just didn't know what happened until it hit the ground. Terrific defense. Sidewinders with another look. Up line to Carly Steiner. Here's O'Connor, who's going to switch fields to Cynthia Thomas. Back to Caroline O'Connell. O'Connell's going to rip it down the field. Pinwen Wong, great pass break up there. Looked like it was intended for Madison Spiegel. There's 30 seconds left to go on the half. Bay Area would love to get a goal right now. They're down 3. O'Connell on the mark. Great dump set action here by Bay Area. Working in a controlled way. The clock's getting high, though. O'Connell guarding well. Bay Area able to get the reset. Now they're back downfield. Terrific look downfield now. Eliza Chang. She's in the red zone. This is Chen. Checked by O'Connell. That's our time for the first half. We'll conclude on a turnover or a score. It goes high. It's out of the end zone for now. Bay Area right there. Can they do it? Back to Chen. And a quick exchange. They've got it. Number 22 for the Bay Area, Alexi Zulk. Handler space action. They get a goal. Let's take another look.
Just a little give and go. Finds her dump here in Han Chen. And then just gets a little bit of space in front of Thomas to be able to get to that disc.
Yeah, Thomas not able to reset her body there after the release to get some sort of interference on that upline cut. That'll do it for our first half. All kinds of action. Home team Arizona Sidewinders are up 7-5 against the visiting Bay Area Falcons. We're going to take a break at the half. We'll see you on the other side for the third quarter.
by Cynthia Thomas.
I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro.
A great toe by Melissa Dunn.
Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yeah.
Powell puts it. Number 4 with a beautiful reel in. That is Carly Steiner.
In his mind, need a ohm and a sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. We getting it. My skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby. Within the
I am Henry Argetsinger here with my partner Neha Van Ganker. Neha, how are you doing?
Hey Henry, good to be back at Kearney Mesa High School.
She threw over to Chang on the sideline, far sideline, but she has the disc and puts a big hook up.
Wow.
Great grab from Lindsay Doyle.
Oh, there's Pisani tracking it down.
Nice catch from Pisani.
Nice grab.
So that's just a bit of a blown coverage there. There was a switch that didn't really successfully happen, didn't fully successfully happen, I should
Welcome back to Phoenix for the second half of Arizona Sidewinders versus the Bay Area Falcons. The hosting Arizona Sidewinders up 7-5 as we conclude the halftime entertainment. Sidewinders coming out on offense. LT, it was a pretty dramatic first half with both teams kind of trading runs of multiple breaks. Arizona came on top by a couple now, 7-5. Bay Area feeling the pressure. What adjustments do you think they'll look to make?
I don't know if I can pinpoint something that Bay Area did wrong specifically. I mean, I think that they had a few turnovers in transition that were unfortunate. So we'll see what the second half holds for them.
Their use of the break side has just been excellent this time around. There's Applegate with a diving catch. She saves her team right now from a disastrous turnover to open the second half. Carly Garrett to Lauren Pisani. Sidewinders picking up momentum. Aragon now getting in on it with a save. That's Maxfield. Maxfield to Aragon. Sidewinders using that left to right space better now. This disc is going to pop up the air. Can Landry get it? It's going to be broken up. McKinley McQuaid in a great spot there. Coming up with a block. No short field turnover for the Falcons now. They've got a little way to go. Sidewinders have to quickly recover. Can't let the Falcons pick up momentum on offense. Nice space in the middle of the field for the Falcons. That's going to go right downfield. Just sent back. And just sent back by Megan Maxfield. A routine play to check it back to the middle. Turned into a fireworks show by Megan Maxfield. This is LP Aragon. She's going to send it deep. Nora Landry trying to find some sort of space. Can't get to it. Checked by 21, Meaty Chang. Bay Area back on offense. It's going to get sent wide. That's Eliza Chang. Checked by LP Aragon. Bay Area looking open on that break side. And that's another change of direction travel. Goes uncalled here. It's going to turn into a shot downfield. Carly Garrett can't quite get her hands on it. Margot Donahue. She's going to send it right in. Bay Area have a break to start this second half. They've got to be happy.
Yeah, they had a lot of big yard gainers on their throws. They weren't using short throws. Bay Area able to open up some D space and come back for some big yards.
There's been a couple times here, LT, and I don't want to put too fine a point upon it. Bay Area has taken cuts that have more of a 45-degree angle, and by the time the thrower releases it, they are walking upfield. Sidewinders need to be careful of this kind of play. It generates a great opportunity. Bay Area using the space really smartly. They come away with a break. That's 9:47 to go in the third quarter. 7-6, Arizona Sidewinders. There's the pull by Bay Area. Here's Chip Chang to pick up, working with Applegate. O'Connor as the third. Applegate scanning. More good marking by Bay Area. It's going to get sent wide. That's a nice throw to Chip Chang. Very cautious play so far from the Sidewinders. This is Maxfield. Maxfield with some options. Back to Applegate. Applegate to Chang. Chang to Bradley. Bradley's going to send it deep to Dunn. Dunn can't quite find it. Can Dunn find it in time? No. Here's Mel Dunn. Minishi. Falcons with a fast start on their offense to try to turn this into a break. And Minishi with a terrific diving grab to save things for her team. Walking upfield again here, number 19, Lily Stepanidis. Terrific combination here. This is Urheim. Urheim to Suji. Suji back to Imanishi. Imanishi's going to send it back across the field. Using that space very nicely are the Bay Area Falcons. Falcons getting close to the red zone. They'd love to have a chance here. Nice over-the-top throw. Falcons moving methodically here. Disc centered by the Falcons. Falcons back to the line. Imanishi with another diving grab. She's got a break shot. Disc is sent to the middle. Great use of breaks by Bay Area. Can they cash in here? This is due to Imanishi. Due offers up line. Not there. Here's a break shot. It's in. Great sequence there, breaking down the defense.
Very patient offense by Bay Area there. They surged with a couple of short passes to go from the 30-yard line to about the 15, and then just using the end zone set to wait for something to open up.
Jacqueline Wynn ties it up for the Bay Area Falcons. 7-7, 7:25 to go.
This is where throw selection really makes a difference, right? Not trying to jam it into a tiny space, but her receiver had a couple of steps, making good decisions and using your handlers to move the disc around when you need to.
Terrific start for the Bay Area Falcons in this second half. Arizona Sidewinders, you can see the ingredients are there, but execution isn't working out for these first 2 points. Can they respond to this pressure like they did in the first half? Can they break the tie in their favor? Here are the Bay Area Falcons. Their number 22, Alexi Zulk. Great pull. It's going to make it to nearly well past the 20. Kay Powell to LP Aragon. Maggie O'Connor. Stuck on the sideline. Kay Powell bails her out. This is Powell. She's going to send it deep. This is Lauren Pisani. She's been amazing in the air and in the end zone, and she skips across the turf with a goal. 8-7 Arizona Sidewinders. Powell to Pisani with a bouncing catch by Lauren Pisani to break the tie. Sidewinders hold.
Pisani's been so instrumental in the Arizona team, and you see here she's got steps on her person and is able to bring it in.
Sidewinders really needed that one, LT.
Yes. And Powell's got great throwing skills. You can see that she's targeting that front cone and really putting it in the right spot.
Remind everyone that this is a turf surface tonight. And that catch, this is going to be a catch you feel the next day. Arizona Sidewinders on defense. 7 minutes to go in our third quarter. Bay Area Falcons have come out swinging and have put on an offensive clinic in manipulating the break space. Arizona Sidewinders have responded with a quick shot. They're on defense now. Here comes Carly Steiner, who will offer the pull past the 30. Here's Bay Area. Falcons number 25, Chen, working with Carnahan. This is Hammer. Hammer's going to send it downfield, but into the hands of Martinez. Cody Lippincott working with Carly Steiner. Janet Wan pass tip, but saved by Maggie O'Connor.
What a crab.
Steiner's going to send it wide to Madison Spiegel. Spiegel's got Lippincott. Resetting now for the Arizona Sidewinders. Plenty of motion downfield. Kay Powell's able to grab it. She's got Wan. She's going to look it off. Back to O'Connor. Cautious play by Sidewinders now. Steiner back with the disc. Steiner's going to send it. It looks like it was bothered by a mark. There could be a call. Not sure if Hammer was able to get her hand on just the disc or if there was contact with the hand. Disc will remain in possession of the Sidewinders. Great mark by Hammer. Lippincott not able to catch that pass. Sidewinders back on defense. Disc is going to swing wide. Carnahan working so well back there with Chen, keeping things controlled. This is Hammer. Hammer's going to send it. That's 33, Amanda Maru. Using the whole field are the Falcons. Anderson working with Carnahan. That's Suji, who's been excellent this game. Lippincott trying to keep the pressure on. Chen able to get it in the middle of the field. Checked by. Disc is going to get sent deep. Here's O'Connor. Can she do it? Can't quite get there. Sarah Carnahan with a great deep offer. She's got a goal. It's 8-8, 5:06 to go in the third.
Well, we'll watch the replay. Yeah, we'll watch the replay here. Han Chen with just a smooth delivery to Carnahan in the end zone. I am noticing that the Bay Area, the way that they're using their space, it seems like they have a ton of space in the middle where there's like a huge gainer of like 10, 12 yards in the last 3-4 points. That whatever they're doing with clearing space and keeping that space open, that's been instrumental for them being able to control where they want to put the disc and not being controlled by the defense.
Great response by Bay Area Falcons. Really, it's been a fun matchup to see Carnahan and O'Connor go to battle. Both of them now have kind of offered deep. They both applied a ton of pressure to one another. They're both doing a really interesting approach to just trying to play in small spaces and work hard for their team and keep some control. Bay Area Falcons to pull. Sidewinders on offense. How will Sidewinders respond on this point? It's 8-8 with 5 minutes to go. LP Aragon to Paige Applegate. Two handlers associated with control on this team to Nora Landry. Landry running so hard tonight. She's going to send it up high to Applegate. Applegate's going to send it to Maxfield. That comfort zone of Arizona Sidewinders up that open sideline. Aragon to switch fields a little bit. We're going to complete the break, but throw doesn't go off all the way. Terrific marking pressure by 21 Midi Chang. Chang's able to grab it here, ripping across the field. Aragon to recover. That disc is going to hit the turf. Seeing a couple tired throws right now, LT, as conditions and the duration of points conspire against the players. And right on cue, an unforced error with the Sidewinders. They'll give the Bay Area a short field. They have a chance to take the lead. We'll get to see another lead change here if they score. Good pressure by Applegate. Bay Area across the middle. Bay Area looking patient. Midi Chang doing such a good job finding open areas. That disc is able to make it across the field. Here's a break offer, and the Bay Area have got it. Alexi Zulk, not quite there. She's on the sideline. We thought Zulk was in. That disc is in now. That's a score. Number 17, Eliza Pugh. Bay Area make it interesting now. They're up 9 against the home Arizona Sidewinders. They have 8. We have 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Well, and here's gut check time. Legs getting tired and just wanting to will the disc sometimes when you are playing these really long points.
Let's take another look at this.
And Zulk backs it out of the end zone here. Finding her dump and then a little toss down the sideline.
Yeah, it's just such a hard play to play defense on when that handler curls up from that space, able to hit a wide open person running to that side. Really great tempo by Bay Area. Here's a pull from Margot Donahue. Sidewinders looking to tie it up. They've got to stop the momentum. Bay Area Falcons have come out on fire in this third quarter. That's Spiegel to Thomas. This is the D-line playing offense for the Sidewinders. as Eifert maneuvers and gives it up to Steiner. Steiner working with O'Connor. Great tempo here from the Sidewinders. And there's a stoppage of play. Pick called on the field. We've got 2:52 to go in this third quarter. Sidewinders have to be careful here. This is awful crowded. Steiner able to come away with it. Can the Sidewinders open up enough space to make something happen? It's going to be Madison Spiegel against Imanishi. Turnover. Great defense by the Falcons. Sidewinders collapsing on the disc LT in some of these short clock situations. Here's Suji across the middle of the field. That's Win sending it to Iwanishi. Imanishi has been so good in the backfield for Bay. That's going to get sent. O'Connell on the cover. She's got it. Kinwen Wang had great separation. Caroline O'Connell ran her down and got the block.
Great body control there, doing just enough to be able to knock the disc out of her reach.
Sidewinders, 1:49 to go here. You get the sense they'd really enjoy scoring this point. That's Eifert. Able to grab it out of the air. Too much. Slightly behind Thomas. She can't grab it. Back to the middle of the field for Bay Area. Playing very controlled right now. There's a pick on the field. Eliza Chang seemingly running unabated across the middle of the field. O'Connor says there was a pick to create that kind of space. Everyone gets a chance to catch their breath here. Can't get any closer. Sidewinders looking to hold on, trying to prevent a break. And there's a timeout called on the field.
More of a chance to catch our breath.
Coaching staff of the Bay Area Falcons, no doubt, pretty hip to the idea that this is a very important moment of the game. Head coach Manisha Dariani makes the choice to get a timeout, give him and his team a chance to think this through.
I think one thing that you'll see as players get tired, right, these tiny little spaces that we've been talking about, sometimes it's because in these later portions of the game, having legs to be able to create better cuts, sometimes we don't have the engine for that. And so I think you're seeing that with these tight little passes into tight spaces, not being able to get enough separation off the mark or with a dump coverage. And I think that's where you get these little fumbly things in the middle of traffic. And so that kind of dynamic really creates a lot of opportunities for more turnovers, and so that's a space that I think that Arizona could clean up. And Bay Area really, coming out with a lot of energy in the second half.
Arizona Sidewinders have scored 1 point this quarter. Bay Area Falcons have scored 5. We talked about Arizona and every game they slide. Here's their slide. Can they recover? Can they hold on and survive this third quarter? Arizona on defense. This is Chen. She's going to send it to the forehand side. It's going to be caught. Easy swing and catch for the Bay Area Falcons. Terrific use of a timeout. Amanda Maru with the goal for her team. They're up 2 points now, 10-8. 1:18 to go in the quarter. Let's take another look, LT, at this play.
And this is going to get tapped in, and again, not using the force side, swinging it around, and an easy goal in the end zone there.
Just well-timed, quick clear right away.
And again, the mindfulness that I brought up earlier, I mean, this is a place where you don't want to be anticipating, well, are we down? Are we going to be losing? Are we going to be up? Am I going to have this? This is about what is my woman doing right in front of me? What is my handler doing? What are my cutters doing? Like, really staying in the moment so that you can react to what's happening on the field and not what you hope to happen or that your brain is too tired to do. But this is where the mental training really comes in.
Sidewinders on offense. They're down 2 with 1:12 to go in this third quarter. Can they respond? This is Applegate. Applegate to Aragon. Aragon to Applegate. Applegate to Chang, and now we're across the field. Here's Carly Garrett. Sidewinders very patient on this offensive possession. It's 50 seconds to go in this quarter. Applegate able to slice in there to Garrett. And then Garrett back to Applegate. More careful work, sending it to Landry. Chang now. You see her looking at the wide spaces of the field. She doesn't want to be congested down here anymore. Garrett's able to get it. Diving clap catch, second attempt by Garrett. Now Chip Chang. Forces backhand. And this is Pisani streaking out to the open side. She's open. She's got it. Mark really trying to cover things here on the Bay Area. Trying to gum things up on those quick handler resets for Arizona. There's going to be a pick called downfield. Paige Applegate, marked by Lily Stepanidis, who's applied all kinds of pressure tonight. And that's the end of time for our third quarter. The quarter will end on a goal or a turnover. It's going to pop up slightly, but Chang's got it. Garrett offering. Here's Applegate. Able to get it. She's going to flip it on the inside-out shot. That's Aragon right on the goal line. Applegate to pursue. Applegate with a consequential goal opportunity that she takes on with an inside-out high release. LT, Arizona gets the goal. It's 9-10, advantage Bay Area.
I don't think we'll go back this far in the highlight, but I just want to point out that Nora Landry being back means that when the Arizona Sidewinders are swinging the disc across the field, she's that critical outlet that once it comes back to that pivot point in the middle, the timing and just the yard gainage, the gain of yardage, just really,
I followed you.
Yeah, really important for the Sidewinders being able to move the defense around and take control of the spaces. So, again, we saw that going back up to the high sideline as well. But we'll start here with Applegate, and we've got some great. We'll get a little handler juggle going on here, little offer, and Chang just using that quick step to get into the end zone.
And, the Bay Area mark there is just, spaced so far away with, a wide position, really trying to stop that break. And Applegate was able to get it anyway. The marks by Bay Area have been terrific tonight, generating all kinds of pressure. We saw on that far side of the field how the mark adjusted to try to just make that dump as difficult as possible. They are very aggressive. Applegate finding that space in there, she made it look easy.
Agreed, and that was some of the presence that we missed last week from Applegate. Also being able to use her length, right, against some of these bigger marks or the marks that are spaced a little bit farther back. Being 5'2" myself, I understand that having little length is helpful to be able to get around those.
An important thing to keep in mind now as we start the fourth quarter with 12 minutes to go in this very close match, the Bay Area Falcons have to go to San Diego tomorrow. Or they might be traveling tonight, but tomorrow they'll be lacing up to play against the San Diego Super Bloom. And within 48 hours, we'll find out if the Bay Area Falcons are the best team in the WUL.
This will be a really interesting matchup, and it's great that it's coming right at the end of Week 9. I think San Diego came in crowned as the favorites, had a lot of strong weeks, and then 2 really close games with Arizona that didn't really put a question mark. But then when Bay Area came in and took that game, then now things are up in the air. And so the season culminating in Bay Area meeting San Diego in San Diego will be a really great precursor to the playoffs.
It feels fitting.
Yes.
Sidewinders have played 3 quarters. of hard frisbee for their home crowd tonight. Score is 9-10. They're down by just one. A very different game from last week, although a very tough third quarter. Let's see what the Sidewinders have in store for their fans for their final quarter of the WUL season of 2024.
Well, and it's important to point out that Bay Area punched and Arizona did not collapse. Arizona punched back. That was a great showing of steadiness on Arizona's part. Not panicking, with Bay Area being able to come and tie and then even take the lead. And so they're in a good position coming into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Arizona knowing they can't survive another quarter like the third. Here's Paige Applegate playing defense. That pull is going to skip just past the 30. This is Han Chen with Carnahan. Looks like a little bit of a floater in the lane here for Arizona for a moment, trying to slow things down for Bay Area. Great use of wide space again. Quick movement by Bay Area. Arizona looking to try to stop that inside-out window, but Bay Area still moving it rather quickly anyways. This is Chen finding wide open teammate in Anderson. Anderson back to Chen. Chen to Cardenas. Cardenas to Suji. Enough throws and there's a turnover. Bay Area looked to be moving it quite well, just a miscue. Here's Applegate. This is really the moment the Sidewinders were waiting for by playing Applegate on a defensive point and forcing a lot of throws. Looking for this opportunity right now. That's going to get sent long from Spiegel to Lippincott. Lippincott's got it on the sideline. Not quite in. Martinez. Back to Juan. It flips out of her hands. Bay Area's got it. Sidewinders collapsing in on some of that space. Trying to build a wall between the open side and the break side. But Carnahan just accelerating into the space. She's got an easy catch. Sidewinders scrambling to try to catch up. Cardenas now stuck on the sideline, finds Chen. Chen now all the way back across the field. Sidewinders still in this non-traditional, or non-person defense, excuse me. High to Carnahan. Carnahan has worked so hard on this point, along with her backfield mate, Chen. Finding middle space is Bay Area. Bay Area walking up the field now. Sidewinders need a stop. Here's Hammer. Hammer's going to send it to the break side. Hanging for Suji, it's a goal. Bay Area come away with this one, 11-9. We've got 9:30 to go in the game. Almost there for the Sidewinders, LT, but Bay Area take advantage.
Yeah, the red zone, not a friendly space on that last point, but Bay Area, again, very patient, very measured with their pace, not trying to rush, not trying to do too much with the disc. And their patience pays off.
Arizona now with a consequential offensive possession. Another break here, and there might not be enough time to get enough points on the board to reduce whatever deficit would be a result. Sidewinders need this one. Here's Applegate. Back to Aragon. Here's Bradley. Bradley working with Aragon. Tight space. It's got to go up and around. Caught by Maxfield. Back into the hands of Applegate, who's got Aragon. Aragon to Chang. Plenty of activity downfield by the Sidewinders. That's Meg Maxfield with a big gainer. Carly Garrett. She's got it. Garrett working well in the middle of the field. This is Bradley on the sideline. Pick called on field. Stoppage of action. Bradley checked by Pugh. This is Applegate. She's got the dump. Gonna send it wide across the field to Aragon, who's got Maxfield coming back across. Sidewinders looking methodical here. It's a strike to the end zone to Garrett. She's got it. Sidewinders get the hold that they need. It's 10-11. We've got 8:22 to go. Sidewinders to play defense. A sigh of relief from the crowd. Sidewinders look to have much more composure on this sequence than before, LT.
Yes, and I recognize here that they are using their cutters, or the cutters are getting gains in spaces that are really important. You saw Kelsey Bradley have a couple of good catches on both sides of the field. And who else was I going to point out?
Well, that no around mark came a little late on a couple of those sequence for Bay Area. They were able to kind of pressure some of those around throws in some places, but closer and closer to the red zone, it felt like that pressure didn't quite as occur. Applegate was able to get the disc just a little bit easier, too. Let's take a look at this and see how it went down.
All right, so we're on the high side of the field. Applegate here, and she's able to swing out to Aragon, who you see here, Megan Maxfield also had a couple of receptions, key receptions in this point, and then she's able to put it to Carly Garrett, who's got steps on her woman.
Yeah, the clock count stays low. The no around mark stays away. Bay Area picking up. 8:11 to go in this terrific match. And an amazing stop by Dunn, who runs into the space and just snatches it out of the air. She dumps it off to O'Connor. O'Connor to Powell. Powell to O'Connor to O'Connell. Lindsay Doyle, you can see she's running hard downfield. She's just attacking that break side space, looking for the disc. Here's Lippincott, who's claps it into her hands, running full speed, just what her team needed at that moment. This is Powell back to Lippincott. Lippincott's got it again. Powell scanning. Here's O'Connor. Pick called on the field. There's a stoppage. Collision downfield interrupted the spacing with the cutters and the defender. They'll get lined up again. Play will resume. Amanda Maru on O'Connor. O'Connor's going to send it wide, and the blade, it's going to be a turnover. Too much traffic in that side of the end zone. Bay Area comes away with a block. Chen's just going to rip it downfield. It's uncatchable. Unless that throw was to the observer, I believe it's overcooked. O'Connor to pick up. Sidewinders facing a long field. Here's Maggie O'Connor. And there's a timeout called. Arizona Sidewinders want another look at it, LT. What's going through their minds right now?
They want this point. That is for sure. They need to get on even ground to be able to get on top.
Costly turnover down there in the end zone for the Sidewinders. Not only does that cost them a possession, it also costs time. And with only 6:47 left to go in this game, the Sidewinders are down by 1. Scoring right now is excellent, but scoring 2 minutes ago would have been even better.
Well, and the cost to legs, right? We've got 6:46 left in the game, and this is where extra turnovers, extra running is not helping anyone at this late stage of the game.
You know, we're starting to see some good signs from the Sidewinders. Some methodical work downfield, some accessing to the break space, some really hard cutting, and some really solid catching in these tricky conditions that evaded them in the third quarter and caused a little bit of a slide. They really feel like they're back on their game. We get a look at the group on the field, who we can't see it through the stream, but there we are. They're interacting with Susie Sidewinder the whole time, who's watching over them benevolently. This is Applegate to pick up as we resume play. Sidewinders in a vertical stack. A 1-6 formation, LT.
Yeah, no dump
I
pass.
wonder what they're up to.
Not sure.
Lily Stepanidis on the mark. Her mark has been terrific tonight. It's been great seeing her and Applegate square off. Applegate to Aragon. Falcons able to stop that quick shot opportunity. Lindsay Doyle runs into the space and is able to get a gain out of this. Here's Applegate. Contested catch. She's going to send it to Garrett. Garrett on that far sideline. It's all on that far sideline. Lippincott now. Lippincott sending a blade to Applegate. Applegate to Chang. We saw Lindsay Doyle just rumble into that breakside space. We thought it was going to be a high floaty one to Doyle. Chang's got it now. Sidewinders have a lot of space to work with. Let's see what they do with it. Applegate now. She's going to send it to Maxfield, who's able to bring it in. Lippincott operating in the open space. It's going to get swung. Here's Aragon. This is Garrett. Downfield, open. It's going to go to Applegate for a short gain. Lippincott, who's been electric tonight, over to Applegate. Sidewinders have tried to send it over to the side of the end zone before, and they found nothing but traffic, but this time we find Lindsay Doyle. Pick called on the field. Crowd has a pretty definite opinion about this call.
Of the observer as well.
The observer making the call with some careful advice from the stands. Here's Doyle in the red zone. All to play for. Paige Applegate. Wide open Aragon. They've got it. It's 11-11. 4:57 to go. The Sidewinders tie it up.
Arizona delivering with the 11th point, with their 11th point of the game.
LT, how about Cody Lippincott? What an incredible point for her.
Yes, I just giggled when she caught that dump pass, because watching her soar in the air is just so much fun.
Yeah, and just, the kind of intensity that she brings, and being able to run and get open and then catch stuff that is thrown really, really hard because of the wind and the conditions and the pressure. Right, these Sidewinders are trying to outrun the solid defense of the Bay Area, and the only reason to do that is to throw it hard. Let's take another look at the goal.
All right, Doyle's here to Applegate. Applegate scanning options, and again, that quick step from Aragon, able to come to the cone and get the disc.
And Applegate makes it look easy, but again, the mark on her, Stepanidis, is doing a good job, and Stepanidis has a really long wingspan.
Yes.
This is a good mark she's beating with a very casual-looking inside-out backhand, just floated to Aragon, streaking across the end zone. Carly Steiner trying to pin the Bay Area Falcons back as far as possible. Sidewinders have a chance. This is Chen. Checked by Powell. Hammer. Going to flip it into the middle. Bay Area working it methodically. They're past the half field. Not a lot of pressure they're experiencing, but that throw goes wide. Imanishi tried for another miracle catch. She's been hitting the ground so often tonight with so much success. Couldn't get that one. Sidewinders just enough pressure on that one. Carly Steiner's going to rip it. Here comes Madison Spiegel. A little too far for Spiegel. Crowd leaning forward on that one. I thought the stands were just going to tip over on themselves. Here's Spiegel back on the mark. It's a backhand force for the Sidewinders. This is Hammer operating against Eifert. Able to get it into space. Terrific catch on the run. Bay Area's moving now. Sidewinders trying to get something to happen by way of slowing them down, but nothing stopping them right now. Carnahan, checked by O'Connor. Here's Hammer, checked by Eifert. Hammer able to poke it back into the middle of the field, but miscue. Might give Spiegel the stat there. Just a couple miscues by Bay Area trying to throw it back to the middle of the field. It doesn't feel like a lot of defensive pressure from the Sidewinders, but apparently just enough. We've got a stoppage of play. We'll update you when we learn what the call is. Looks like there's a foul. was contact that got adjudicated. We're back. Here's Powell on the near side for us. That's Spiegel finding Thomas in the middle. And here's a timeout for Arizona Sidewinders, who understand the importance of this point with just 2:45 to go. The score is knotted up at 11-11. Very important possession for Arizona. LT, we've seen Arizona in these situations before. Who do you think they go to here? Maybe not who exactly, but what kind of action do you think we're likely to see out of a stoppage like this? We've got about half the field to go. Conditions have calmed down considerably. What might be available here?
You gotta love a deep look to the end zone for a little bit of time. We have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the stadium clock. Again, the Sidewinders really sticking closely to those sidelines when, the marks are forcing so much pressure that they're not really able to do anything other than take the open side. And so, as a coach, I'd like to see them move it to the middle and use their offense from there. But I also wouldn't mind, short gainer, a bump, and a nice deep look. They seem to get a lot of energy off of those. I can't say that the deep looks have all been perfectly calibrated, but you've got some options with your throwers.
Looking at personnel, we've got Cynthia Thomas, Helen Eifert, Carly Garrett. These are explosive play type players. Little action off the front of the stack. We've got Megan Maxfield to Carly Garrett. Garrett's going to send it back to Aragon. More good marking, but more good cutting by Arizona. That around throw is going to go too wide. Pressure by Bay Area causing the turnover. And now they're off and running. Arizona looking behind the play. Easy completions now for Bay Area. Arizona has to recover and get some pressure on right now. Just 2 minutes to go. Back into the middle of the field for Bay Area. Sending it wide. That's Amanda Maru. Finding Eliza Pugh. She's going to send it backhand to the corner. Suji, quick flip. It's a goal. They take the lead, the Bay Area. Eliza Chang with the catch. 1 minute, 48 seconds to go. Narrow lead by Bay Area. Sidewinders leave the chance on the table.
Another methodical use of the whole field for Bay Area once again. Just swinging that disc side to side.
So much mental toughness by both teams so far. Terrific match with under 2 minutes to go. So much at stake in this next one. LT, here's another look.
Yep, and this is after the disc coming off the near sideline, swinging all the way across to the far sideline. And to Chang for the goal.
Bay Area with another stop by pressuring that no around throw.
Yeah, you've talked about the marks again and again, and you can see them pop up in a lot of spaces where Arizona's getting jammed up.
Arizona back with an O-line. Bay Area's rushing to get their D-line on the field in time and get the pull off in time without a violation. The pull is short, a fine opportunity for Arizona. That's Aragon playing catch with Applegate. More pressure from Bay Area, dragging the lane and then putting on a hard mark. That's Nora Landry. She's able to get a big gainer. Dunn releases downfield. Landry crowded by the mark, and there's a call on the field. There's a foul called on the mark. Foul, no contest on the mark. That clock is going to get reset. Landry's going to get another 7 seconds to look downfield. Loss of yards to Applegate. Handlers working hard now for Arizona. They're not across the 40 yet. And there's that swarming mark by the Bay Area again to try to make things more difficult. Landry tries to run this down. She's got it. Here's Mel Dunn offering some space. We're going to play back across the field instead. Here's Aragon. Looking for Bradley. It's up really high. Bradley's got it. Bradley back to Aragon. Now Applegate back in the middle of the field. Slow and steady for the Sidewinders. Lots of traffic through their handlers. Another pick on the field as exhausted players start to collide. 42 seconds to go. Can the Sidewinders tie it up? It's 11-12.
I like Arizona's composure here. It doesn't look like they're forcing it. Tight spaces, but still able to get the disc off.
Sidewinders aren't playing to win right now. They're playing
Right,
to
that's
force an
right.
overtime. They have 42 seconds to use. Can they hang on for 42 seconds and put it in the end zone? Great catch by Mel Dunn. So clutch. There's Bradley. On the sideline, she's got Chang. Chang can't get her hands on it. It hits the turf. 28 seconds to go. Can they get a quick stop? The clock is ticking. Bay Area, no hurry to pick this one up. Under 20 seconds to go and a timeout. Arizona with a stunning turnover there, LT. 18 seconds left on the clock. Bay Area just has to hold it for 3 stall counts, and they've got the game.
Yeah, you could see that they had a game plan and that they were putting it into play, and that was working well for them. Not sure what happened on the turnover. We can get a replay of that. But either way, this is a rough spot for Arizona to be in with only 18 seconds left. Not impossible. They've got great defenders. It's possible to get a stop and a score for a tie game and send us into overtime.
Has been a terrific quarter for Arizona. Has been a terrific quarter for Bay Area. Only one team can win, unfortunately. Bay Area in control right now. Can they bring it home? Arizona needs a stop, and they need it quick. There's 18 seconds to go. Disc is checked in. 15 seconds to go. Pressure on Bay Area. Imanishi now scanning. She doesn't have a lot of options. It goes up. It's completed. Carnahan's got it. 4 seconds to go. There's a call on the field. There's a stall called. Eifert thought Imanishi did not get it off in time. Unbelievable. The Sidewinders got a stall. There are 4 seconds left to go. They have a shorter field. If the Sidewinders can hold on here, they're in no hurry to score in 4 seconds. They have to score now. They can't turn it over. They have no more chances. O'Connor soars to grab that and save it. Lippincott. Past the 50. This is Eifert. Eifert to Juan. Juan to O'Connor. O'Connor sees Eifert. Eifert's running to the end zone. Can Eifert get it? No! Just too far. Just out of the hands of Eifert. That is your game. The Bay Area Falcons come away winning by 1 fingertip. The Bay Area Falcons hold on for the win.
Valiant effort.
What
valiant effort.
Battle. Sidewinders absolutely gutted by this one, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. A terrific performance tonight for the home fans.
Just outstanding.
Terrific effort, explosive plays, a nearly miraculous play to force things into overtime. Can't say enough good things about this team this season, which has tested every single team that they have played.
Yep.
Except for that blowout last week, their point differential is something like
2.
2 on the whole
Yeah.
season. And congratulations to the Bay Area Falcons, who played a terrific and controlled game. Ferocious defense, timely offense, and just a wonderful treat to end the season for the Arizona Sidewinders fans.
And And again, to just take it back to the whole season narrative, I think one of the best things that we can say about a game like this is just women's ultimate is just fantastic to watch. Like watching Pro Ultimate, these are fantastic games. This is really something that fans can sink their teeth into, with exciting plays, with great players, great storylines. Like this is it's more than a viable product. Like it's a very attractive product, and we hope that even a team Arizona that ends in third place, that ends the season with a losing record, is still giving so much to the league and to the season for people to connect with. It just goes to show you that like the work that folks are doing to make this happen is just, it's astronomical work, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, well-matched games, hard-fought games against teams that test one another. This is becoming the norm for the WUL, and this has been an exciting one to watch tonight. It has been incredible to watch these teams perform in these conditions. Let's take a look at the Discraft play of the game. And what a game it was. Powell bails her out. This is Powell. She's going to send it deep. This is Lauren Pisani. She's been amazing in the air and in the end zone, and she skips across the turf.
Zone for a score, and that's our Discraft play of the game.
Yeah, terrific work by Pisani on that one. What an ending. So much drama. Bails her out. This is Powell. She's going to send it deep. This is Lauren Pisani. She's been amazing in the air and in the end zone. And we'll see what happens tomorrow when the Bay Area Falcons have to wake up and play the San Diego Super Bloom as their reward for this performance tonight. Tune in on that time. Until then, signing off for Michael Simeone and LT. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.